So Taylor Welch ran a huge company called Traffic and Funnels. Essentially, I think what they would do is they would build funnels for people, run ads, maybe teach them how to build sales teams and close and stuff. Some of their ads would have income claims. Except when you look up Traffic and Funnels and you look up Taylor Welch and everything he's done, the guy's reputation is pretty damn good. Like, you won't find a lot of dirt on him. And it's just interesting because FTC comes out and cracks down on this dude, someone who you would think is bulletproof. They got him for like $16 million. I think it said in the report that he couldn't actually pay it because of lack of funds, but he ended up coming out of pocket $1 million to the FTC because of income claims. All right, man. We spent 2 years in info. I want to talk everything info, e-learning, coaching, guru space on this podcast. I think there's a lot of people that don't. I think there's a lot of misunderstandings. I know I had a lot, especially when we were running the window cleaning business, and there would be ads that popped up on like my timeline or whatever, wherever I was on. They'd be like, "Oh, like I'll teach you how to make more money by doing blah blah blah." I'm like, that's a scam. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember seeing Ty Lopez and Grant Cardone back in the day.
Yeah, here in my garage. Yeah. And now that we're like, gurus or like we're in e-learning coaching, I think there's a lot of just misunderstanding of the space. But don't get me wrong, there's a lot of scammers. You got it's also been a crazy week in the industry just with the FTC cracking down on everyone. So there's a lot I want to talk about. Where do you want to start?
Let's start. Let's just start how we got into it. Like, how do we become part of the e-learning space? Because I don't think people really know or like understand why we did. Mm-hmm. And like, even at that point, I didn't really know it was a thing. Like, we had just learned about it when we got into it. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. So what happened was I was tweeting about running the window cleaning business remotely. And people were like, "This is so cool. Like, how are you running a window cleaning business remotely?" Because we were using contractors. And I was like, I think there might be something here. And this was also at the time when, we were spending like 5 hours a month on the window cleaning business. And we were like screwing around on the internet trying to figure out what our next business was going to be. We started an advertising agency that only did Yelp ads for home service companies. And that was kind of like, I was trying to figure out how to run ads is what happened. And so I tweeted out, what I was doing was I was taking my followers and funneling them into a Discord group. And inside this Discord group, there was different categories like digital marketing, window cleaning, house cleaning, like all these different business models you could start, and it was free. And I put in the marketing chat, I was like, "Hey, does anybody know how to run YouTube ads?" Because I wanted to put YouTube ads up so I could be like, "Hey, if you're a home service business owner, let me show you how we got like 20-to-1 return on ad spend off of Yelp." And ended up meeting a guy named Gino who was working as the marketer for a real estate development company in Canada. So he's doing all the marketing and lead gen for them. And he's like, "Hey man, like I could do it. Like, let's jump on a call. I want to start a mobile detailing business so we can exchange some value." Like, okay, cool, let's do it. Well, it was on this call. Were you on that call?
No.
Yeah, I was on that call, and my mind was blown because he started telling me about the info space. He's like, "Yeah, I know guys that like run ads for HVAC companies, and they do like $250,000 a month, and they just have a video on their website." I'm like, "What the hell? No way." He's like, "Yeah, dude, here, why don't you do this? Look, I'll come on as a consultant. I'll help you with like your offers and this and that, and then it's $1,000. Pay me $1,000. I'm like, done. Threw it on the Amex, closed. And he's like, "Okay, your homework is read this book." The book was $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. And it was when we read this book that changed everything, because I had zero idea info was a thing. I had zero idea the coaching space was a thing. Every time I would see one of those ads pop up on my timeline, I wouldn't really think anything of it. And then I read this book and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, we could definitely do something with this remote cleaning thing, applying what we learned with $100 million offers. But the problem was was that we were doing window cleaning, and window cleaning wouldn't work all across the United States, but house cleaning would. But the problem was we didn't have the authority in house cleaning because we built a window cleaning business. So what did we do?
Started marrying them up.
Yeah.
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 So we started Marrying a Mop. Marrying a Mop's a remote house cleaning business for my mom. And at the time, my mom was an Uber driver. And she was making maybe like $4 or $5 grand a month. But she was working 50, 60 hours a week. Like, I'm talking, she would wake up at 7, 8 in the morning, be out the door. By 7 or 8, she'd be out the door. And then she wouldn't be coming home until 7 or 8 at night. Every single day for like 6 days a week.
To the hustler.
Mm-hmm. Grinding. And so we figured, hey, maybe we knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. We call our shot. We say, hey, we're going to take the same model we learned with window cleaning. We're going to apply it to house cleaning. And we're going to document the whole process and retire my mom with this business.
Like in 60 days, 90 days.
60 days, 90 days, yeah. And that's exactly what we did. We launched it. Marrying a Mop, the house cleaning business, ended up doing $8,000 its first month.
No, 12.
Oh, yeah, it was 12. 12,000 its first month, $4 grand of profit. Then it got to 20 the next month. And she had no reason to be driving Uber anymore. It was just, that was her thing. And to this day, that business still exists. And she still runs it to this day. But it was at that time when everybody then, the demand was just even crazier on Twitter because everyone was asking, how do I do it? How do I do it? How do I do it?
They were begging us to teach them how to do this. You know, like people were asking, like, can I pay you money to like get on a call and like basically learn how to do this? So, yeah, I think it just naturally happened. Like, okay, you want to learn? We'll teach you then. So then that's when we came up with like the first cohort, put out a tweet, say, we're doing this. And then the first 15 people joined and sold that initial product at like $4,200. And it was like mind-blowing money to us at the time. Because like a regular house cleaning job or window cleaning job is like $350. And this one customer was paying us $4,000. And that was like just mind-blowing to us.
Well, we sold 15 packages at $4,200, which was $50K, and then we collected $30K of that up front, and then immediately just funded the rest of the business with that. It was essentially our starting capital. It was almost like a mini like angel round. We just raised ourselves, and then we got results. We tested it for 3 months, got good results with people, and then we opened the floodgates. But we applied everything we learned from the book, which was like, okay, we're gonna do one-to-many coaching. We're going to have group coaching calls. We're going to have a community. We're going to have a course. And it's going to be a year long, which was actually a big mistake we made, was making it a year long. And so then we took all that starting capital, that $50K, and we invested into, we brought Gino in as a partner. We hired a videographer to make content across all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc. And then we started hiring sales guys one by one. We started hiring coaches to coach the students one by one. And then we scaled really, really fast. We went 0 to 2.8 million from April to December.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. It's a crazy time. And, you know, starting this business, growing it, going through all the trials and tribulations of it, I feel like we've been able to see like what it looks like from the other side. Being the guy that's on the ad, you know, like people call on the ad itself, call us scamming all the time, right? And now we know from the other side, like, okay, we obviously know that's not what we are. It's not what we do. But like, there's just ignorance around it. And it's because this is where the misconception comes from, I think. Some people have courses. Some of them are actually scams. Like they don't really teach you much. They don't really like do what they said they were going to help you do. So there is that part. But then the second part is that there's some really good ones out there that people buy, but then don't get the result they expected because, big surprise, you got to put in work, right? Like it's like college basically, but you're taking one class instead of like the whole curriculum of college. And it's like, you can apply that or you can do nothing with it.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways though. It goes both ways from the consumer's perspective of, hey, I see this ad and they're guaranteeing me 10K in 2 months, in 60 days. I can make 10K in 2 months. Oh my God. And they come in and they expect it to be a magic bullet to make 10K in 2 months. by not doing anything. But on the flip side, there's also a big problem in the industry with people who just claim outlandish shit. And I know damn well, because we've met a lot of these guys at the masterminds, I know damn well they're not tracking anything as far as their fulfillment goes and their student success. Because they say, oh, hey, I guarantee you're going to make astronomical amount of money in short period of time. And they might have one or two people that have done that, but it's such a misleading claim. And I think that's where the stigma comes from of people bitching and complaining about, oh, this is a scam, this is a scam. I mean, to be honest, I've seen some of these guys' programs too. Some of them are hosting it in a Google Drive. Like, you get access to a Google Drive folder. And the crazy part is if you're good at sales, you know how to close and you know how to build a sales process, it doesn't matter how good your fulfillment is, because you're selling information. You're selling hopes and dreams, right? Especially if, you don't really care about your product. You don't really care about your fulfillment. To me, okay, now we're kind of scamming. You know what I mean? But it goes both ways, right? Like, you can't expect anything to be a magic bullet, especially if it's an ad on your Instagram page. But at the same time, most info marketers and coaching companies need to stop with the outrageous claims of income. And it's not even compliant with everything going down with, like, the FTC and some of the biggest names in the space getting taken down for income claims. And guys were so the FTC came out with the report on Taylor Welch. Did you see that? Yeah.
Well, tell me about it, because I didn't dive into it as much as you did.
So Taylor Welch ran a huge company called Traffic and Funnels. And essentially, I think what they would do is they would build funnels for people, run ads, maybe teach them how to build sales teams and close and stuff. But some of their ads would have income claims. Except when you look up Traffic and Funnels and you look up Taylor Welch and everything he's done, he had the Sales Mentor, he had Inbound Closer, he had a few other programs. The guy's reputation is pretty damn good. Like, you won't find a lot of dirt on him. He's one of the biggest names in the space. He's got a huge track record. A lot of the big names now in the space have learned from him. And it's just interesting because FTC comes out and cracks down on this dude, someone who you would think is bulletproof. They got him for like $16 million. I think it said in the report that he couldn't actually pay it because of lack of funds, but he ended up coming out of pocket $1 million to the FTC because of income claims.
It's wild. Yeah. And like you said, this is a guy that you'd expect that he wasn't, quote unquote, scamming, right? But like the FTC basically says, hey, you scam people, pay your money, basically, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I think it does stem from marketers. It stems from like Facebook ads being more and more competitive, because anybody could throw up a Facebook ad that says anything. So like, if you're going to stand out, especially on a feed that gets more and more competitive in terms of like attention, like they're like, oh, I got to say the most crazy thing possible to like get someone to like click on my ad. Right.
Well, going back to what we said, I almost feel that $100 million, don't get me wrong, $100 million offer is a great book, changed the game. We wouldn't be here without reading that book. But it teaches a lot of non-compliant shit. You know what I mean? And you see now more than ever, I'll teach you how to build AI chatbots. I'll teach you how to build blah, blah, blah. You see the 10th, 15th, I'll teach you how to make money on Airbnb guy guaranteeing you $100,000 in 6 months or your money back. And then, bro, don't even get me started on automation. The Amazon automation, Facebook Craigslist, Craigslist automation. Like, they're just slapping automation. Trucking, trucking automation's a thing.
Yeah, it's wild. There's a huge market for people that want to get into trucking for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why, but
yeah. I forgot where I was going with that, but
basically, yeah, like Offers doesn't have an FTC compliance chapter or anything. Yeah. So then people do what they do with the information, and then they throw up the ads. They make a whole business around like this model that's just not sustainable. We know it's not sustainable because that's how we started out at first, and then realized, oh wait, a lot of people are just not getting the results that we're trying to get them. And at some point, it's not even a lack of product. It's just a lack of like effort on the consumer side. But like, that's what makes this biz op e-learning space so difficult sometimes is like you can do everything possible to try to get someone to do something, but if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it, right? So it's a tough space. But to my next question, like, is there still opportunity in the e-learning space, like education, online education space?
There definitely is. It's just people. It's funny because we've had a few videographers now. We've had a few videographers, and they're all kind of in a similar spot where they're trying to do their own thing. And it's almost always in info. They always want to do something in info. And I've actually been discouraging a lot of people from going into info just because we had this crazy run up of, we went 0 to 2.8 million, 9 months, super profitable. I checked the tax returns last night. We did 1.5 million in net profit on 2.8. So pretty solid profit. But then we get to this year, we'll do 4 or 5, maybe somewhere around there, 4.5 million, and the profit's not even close to what it was last year on higher revenue, because someone said this at a conference to me. It was like newbie gains, and I think that's why you see a lot of gurus, a lot of coaching companies go out of business in a year, 2 years. I mean, we've seen it just being in the space for only 2 years. People go out of the business every day. And it's because these businesses, as you continue to run them longer and longer, get harder and harder to run because of either saturation or rising ad costs, you name it. So when we came out with remote cleaning, nobody had heard of it. It was brand new. Super easy, ROAS was high, built a sales team. And then all of a sudden you start to see a bunch of other people start coming out with remote cleaning. Not only remote cleaning, but you also see a bunch of people come out with, we're competing with Amazon FBA offers, AI offers, make money doing whatever the hell offer, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're just starting out, you're only going to be able to start one business. So we're competing against all those other people, and some of these guys are really, really freaking good. There's people in the space doing $10 million a month off of business opportunity offers. And when you're in it, we realized it was very easy to start and very easy to start, but very hard to maintain, as opposed to when we were doing the window cleaning business. It was very hard to start, but easier to maintain. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is they think it's going to be this easy cash grab. Yeah, you might make some money for a little bit, but if you ever want to turn it into a real sellable enterprise that has enterprise value, that has like a solid team in place where you're getting really good student success and results consistently, that will stand the test of time, it's not nearly as easy as you think. It's just like any other business, dude. You think the grass is greener, but it's not greener, dude. Every business has its own set of problems. And I think we realized that this year with info, and ad costs are super high. We have to be testing more. We have to have different marketing strategies in case one goes down. It's a pain in the ass.
You got to look at who you're competing with. Like in e-learning, you're competing with all these guys that want to get rich. They want to get rich quick, and these people end up, going towards things like online marketing, and they're really smart people, and sometimes they're willing to spend a lot of money to acquire customers. So then, to your point, you're having to compete with all these crazy offers, and that's what makes this business hard compared to something like a window cleaning business. Who are you competing with in this random city in California when you have a window cleaning business? It's like the 45-year-old neighbor that goes out and does a window cleaning himself. He's not running Facebook ads. So if you just were decent at Facebook ads, you'd have a really easy time running a cleaning business. But then when you're in e-learning, you're competing against every other dude in the United States or maybe even the world that is trying to make quick money online, is willing to say the craziest things. So
yeah, you're
that's why it's easy. It's easy. Dude, if me and you wanted to have an e-learning company and just me and you, maybe me, you, and some guy running ads, we could pretty easily do 40, 50K a month, pretty chill lifestyle type of life. Right. And that's a lot of money to some people. But then the minute you start trying to scale, and now we have like 20 something employees, like it gets hard.
Yeah, your fixed costs start to rise. Then you get stuck at a spend level. Like, for example, you're spending $100K a month on ads, and 30% of our revenue is spent on ads. Next month, 35%. Next month, 39%. It's like, oh shit. You know? And then that's because ad costs continue to rise. And if you, not even to talk about, if you can't staff and build a good sales team to help reduce that number on your leads and close your leads at a higher rate, oh, you're fucked. You're not going to be able to compete. Because, you know, to get someone to book a call, to get them to show up consistently, like, you can look at CPA's cost per acquisition of a customer of $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. We've seen our CPA balloon up to $4K before. And people don't talk about that. Everyone thinks, oh, info, you just make a shitload of money. It's like, nah, not most of the time. And not even to talk about if you don't have a back end. So yeah, you might have this business opportunity selling Airbnbs, and you teach someone how to make money on Airbnb, and they pay you $5,000 for 3 months, 4 months of coaching. But then what? You already taught them the skill. Why do they need your stuff? What are you gonna do to extend the lifetime value of your customer? Most people also don't have an answer to that. That's why you don't see good back ends in most of these companies.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, we're talking about all the bad stuff. Where's the opportunity in e-learning? Because there is still opportunity to make money. And like, if someone wanted to do it, how would they do it the right way? Let's talk about that.
Why don't you talk about that? You're the one who built the whole product and team.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, you can teach someone to do anything. And like, if it's something of value where it's going to make their life better in some way, like whether it's the amount of money they have, their health, what is it? Health, wealth, relationships. Those are like the main ones. So like, let's just give a couple of examples of like the craziest things that you've seen people doing in terms of like e-learning.
I've seen people make $60,000 a month teaching guys how to do handstands. Another one, it was like $60K or $80K a month, teaching gay dudes to release their religious shame. There's a kid doing $250K a month coaching Rocket League.
Okay, so video games, any business opportunity. I've seen people teaching how to play different instruments. Well, you name it, there's probably an e-learning company out there teaching people how to do this. And the way that you do it right is, one, if you're in the space of like money, just look at FTC and try to be compliant from day one. Like, it's not that hard to be compliant if you're not saying these crazy claims, right? The second thing is, make sure you've done it yourself. Because I think the problem where all these people run into is that
it's a big one.
Let's just say we never started a cleaning company. We're trying to like teach people how to do it. One, we're going to have a half-assed product that's probably not going to get that good results. But then two, we can't physically say, I've done this and made X amount of money. So then you're forced to say, I will help. I can guarantee you're going to make $10K a month, because that's the only thing I can say, and just try to make it happen. And inevitably it's not going to happen, and you're going to be a scammer. So one, like, you've done it before, so that's why you're teaching it. And then two, like, just don't say crazy income claims and be FTC compliant from day one. And I feel like I'm missing one. Is anything coming to your mind in terms of like how to do it the right way?
No, I think you got both of them. Actually give a shit about your people that are paying you money. Big problem I see in the high like, people call it the high ticket space. Like,
yeah,
a lot of this shit ain't high ticket. $5,000, $7,000, $2,000. It's not. You're not selling anything high ticket. It's not crazy amounts of money, for one. But two, they think just because they can sell it, everything else doesn't matter. Like, you can sell the stuff, but if you don't care about your students, you're just gonna have churn. You're gonna have chargebacks. You're gonna have refunds. You're gonna have no lifetime value, and you're gonna constantly be selling and selling and selling and selling and selling to cover your costs, and that is a stressful position to be in.
Yeah, it's also super common for people to be more, not even a business, but like a funnel. They're just a funnel. Like, they have a funnel that's working, basically a marketing campaign where they can get people in, they can get them to buy. But then eventually, when a lot of those people don't get the results that they get, then people start leaving bad reviews, start like talking crap, and then they can't get as many customers in that one marketing funnel. All right, let me go start another funnel teaching people how to do something else. And like, that's all they are, is a funnel. And they're just jumping business opportunity, trying to like stay alive and support their Lambo lifestyle that they initially like signed up for because they had 150K a month off that funnel. That's like the trap I see people fall into all the time. So it's like, just don't do that. Just like stack your bread, do it sustainably. Don't get all crazy with like spending, and care about your people. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you keep the customer in mind first, you focus on getting good results, and that becomes the most important piece. I don't think you can lose. Like, obviously, this is a game of marketing too, so marketing is extremely important. But over time, you will beat everybody in your niche if you actually give a shit about your customers and have like value, like you value what they're paying you, because like you can sell, you can put a value to any of this stuff. Like we could start selling Home Search Academy for $30,000. I bet you someone would buy it. We could close a couple of people in a month at $30,000 on the front end, for sure. Right? But is it actually like is one, like if I were to do that, I have to make sure I'm giving $30,000 of value, and most people don't realize that. They just think, oh, because I can charge $5K, I'm going to charge $5K. And cool, I made $5,000. It's like, no, now you have to give this person $5,000 of value. They chose to spend their hard-earned money with you, and you better deliver on it. And if you could do that, you're going to beat 99% of people in the space. Because, dude, there's programs we spent $10,000 on where I got onboarded with a coach, and they're walking me through it. And the guy's sitting there laughing and bullshitting with his girlfriend off camera. As I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is this? I spent $10,000. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just makes me realize, similar to window cleaning, similar to house cleaning, where most people suck, your competitors suck, they don't think about these things. It's the same across any industry. E-learning is not, and coaching is not excluded.
Yeah, I think that's a lesson that we learned early on. Just, I don't know, we kind of just stumbled into it with the window cleaning business, because naturally I think we just wanted to deliver a good product. We were the ones in someone's house, so I think that kind of put the pressure on us, like, all right, this person's paying us $400, like, let's do a good job. Mm-hmm. And I think that taught us a lesson of like, dude, if you just cared about your customer, literally everything else follows. You can charge, like good prices. You'll get great testimonials, referrals. People will like use your service again. Like everything else follows. Just care about your customers.
Yeah.
And I think every big company out there has followed that same mantra, and that's why they're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Right.
Yeah. 100%, man. I want to go back to what you were talking about. I think I brought up the automation stuff, but I need to make a disclaimer. Anytime you guys see anything automation, you see anything that says automation slapped to it, and it's a business opportunity, it is a scam. You will lose money. Like, I promise you will lose money. The problem with automation offers is people come in with the expectation of, oh, this person's going to start this business for me, run this business for me. Well, guess what? You're not the only person coming through that funnel. You really think this person has the capability to stand up 10, 20, 30, I don't know how many people they're selling every month, 50 new businesses every single month and run them efficiently? Hell no. And it's lazy as a consumer to even think about joining one of those, because you're not going to learn any skills. Like, oh, I'm going to expect this to be done for me, and then I'm going to get booty tickled because it doesn't work out. It's like, what did you expect? It's running a whole business where you have to build out the sales function, the marketing function, the accounting function, the customer success or fulfillment, everything. And you expect some 21-year-old with a Lamborghini to actually go and provide you results? Like, come on. Like, let's be real. That's not going to happen. But the reason I bring that up is because people will come to us and be like, I dropped $30,000, $20,000 on Amazon automation or Shopify, whatever it is, automation, and it never made them a dime. And as I was reading into that FTC stuff, it was interesting because there's these two guys, I forgot what their names were. I think his name was like Roman Cresto or something. And his brother, there's like a third guy part of it. They were running the automation scheme and got like 0 results for people. And the FTC just fuck them. So that one was nice to see. But stay away from automation. It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, I mean, dude, any automated business, like nothing ever becomes like truly automated. Like we know this. Even having like a bigger business like ours now, there's a level to it. Like the day-to-day, we're not in the day-to-day as much. But like, dude, if me and you were to both like leave for like 5 years because it was automated, would the business continue to grow and keep thriving like this? No. No. So
yeah, it takes hard work to have an automated business, and even then it's never really automated. So
yeah. Dude. Yeah, but FTC cracking down, I think it's a good thing at the end of the day, like, because it comes down to like what we were talking about, care about your customers. All the FTC is doing is caring about the general customer of like the United States, right? And I think it's doing more good than it is bad, even though there is like good people maybe that had good intentions that are getting cracked down on, like you said, like Taylor Welch. You know, there's probably some people he unintentionally screwed over, and so that's why it's better to just be compliant. So
yeah, I think the problem is no one really knows how to be compliant because the rules are all over the place. So someone wants to create a course.
There's an opportunity.
I'll happily buy it. That's the business idea of the week right there, my boy.
Yeah, FTC compliance.
FTC compliance coaching for coaches.
Yeah.
I promise you could run it up with that if you learn the compliance rules and got everyone compliant.
Yeah, I wonder if you even need to be a lawyer to do that.
I don't
Probably
think so.
not. What do we know, though?
Let me know if someone wants to build that.
Okay.
And if you want to build a remote cleaning business with the most trusted e-learning coaching program in the space, click on the link below and hit subscribe if you haven't. Peace.